Why they come back when you stop chasing. They often come back when you stop chasing them. But not always for the reason you hope. Sometimes they come back because they miss you. Sometimes they come back because they finally understand your value. But sometimes they come back because the attention they were used to suddenly disappeared. And that difference matters. Because if you do not understand why someone returns, you may let them back into your life for the wrong reason. At first, chasing can feel like love. You message first. You explain more than you should. You try to fix the distance. You try to prove that you care. You keep hoping that if you say the right thing, wait long enough, or show enough patience, they will finally come closer. But often, the opposite happens. The more you reach, the more they pull away. The more you explain, the colder they become. The more available you are, the less urgency they seem to feel. And this is the part that hurts. You were not trying to control them. You were not trying to overwhelm them. You were just afraid of losing them. But fear changes the energy of a connection. When you chase someone, even with good intentions, the balance starts to shift. They become the person being chosen, pursued, waited for. And you become the person trying to be chosen back. That imbalance can quietly change how they experience you. Your care no longer feels like care. It starts to feel like pressure. Your presence no longer feels calm. It starts to feel expected. Your messages no longer feel like connection. They start to feel like responsibility. This does not mean you did something wrong by caring. It means that care without boundaries can lose its shape. And when someone knows you will always be there, always reply, always forgive, always explain, always wait, they may stop feeling the weight of losing you. Not because you are not valuable, but because your value has become too available to them. Then one day something changes. You stop chasing. Maybe you get tired. Maybe you finally feel embarrassed by how much you have been trying. Maybe you realize that every message you send makes you feel smaller. Maybe you simply cannot keep abandoning yourself just to keep someone close. So you stop. You do not block them to create drama. You do not disappear to punish them. You do not play cold to manipulate them. You just stop reaching for someone who is not reaching back. And suddenly, the pattern changes. The person who used to take your attention for granted feels the silence. The space that used to be filled by your effort becomes empty. The emotional comfort they received from knowing you were always there is no longer guaranteed. And this is often when they come back. A message appears. A reaction shows up. They ask how you have been. They make a small joke. They check if the door is still open. And it can feel powerful. Because for a moment, it looks like everything you wanted is finally happening. But here is the part most people misunderstand. Someone coming back does not automatically mean they changed. Sometimes it only means the old dynamic stopped working for them. They may not miss the relationship. They may miss the attention. They may not miss your heart. They may miss the feeling of being wanted. They may not be ready to meet you with consistency. They may only be uncomfortable with the fact that you stopped waiting. This is why you have to slow down. When someone returns, do not immediately hand them the same access they had before. Watch what they do after the first message. Do they communicate clearly? Do they take responsibility? Do they show consistency? Do they respect your boundaries? Do they actually move closer? Or do they only pull you back into the same confusion? Because some people do not come back to love you better. They come back to see if they still can. That sentence may hurt, but it can also protect you. Because the goal is not to make someone come back. The goal is to stop losing yourself when someone pulls away. There is a big difference between being open and being available for anything. Being open means you can listen. It means you are not bitter. It means you can have a conversation with maturity. But being available for anything means they can disappear, return, confuse you, leave again, and still find you waiting in the same place. That is not love. That is emotional dependence. When you stop chasing, the most important change is not what happens in them. It is what happens in you. Your nervous system slowly stops living around their response. Your mood stops depending on whether they texted back. Your day stops being controlled by someone else's distance. You begin to remember that your life existed before this person became the center of it. And that is the real shift. not becoming cold, not pretending not to care, not acting like you are above emotions, just returning to yourself. This is what healthy detachment really means. It does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop sacrificing your peace to prove that you care. It means you can miss someone without chasing them. You can love someone without begging for clarity. You can want connection without accepting confusion. You can leave space without turning that space into panic. And when you carry yourself this way, people feel the difference. Not because you are playing a game, but because your energy is no longer desperate. You are no longer trying to convince someone to see you. You are no longer auditioning for basic effort. You are no longer making their distance more important than your dignity. That kind of self-respect changes the emotional balance. Sometimes, yes, they come back, but by then you may see them differently. You may notice that what once felt like love was really anxiety. You may notice that what once felt like chemistry was really uncertainty. You may notice that the person you were chasing was not giving you peace, only moments of relief. And this is where you have to be honest with yourself. Do you want them back because they are good for you? Or do you want them back because their return proves that you were not rejected? Those are not the same thing. One comes from love. The other comes from wounded pride. If someone comes back with honesty, consistency, and real effort, you can decide what to do from a calm place. But if they come back with vague messages, mixed signals, and just enough attention to pull you in again, then your silence taught them nothing. It only gave them a new way to restart the same cycle. So do not ask only, why did they come back? Ask, what are they bringing back with them? Clarity or confusion? Effort or curiosity? Respect or control? Consistency or another emotional loop? Because a return is not proof of love. A return is only an opportunity to observe. The real power is not in making someone chase you. The real power is in not chasing someone who makes you forget your worth. So if you have stopped reaching out and they suddenly appear again, breathe before you respond. You do not have to punish them. You do not have to ignore them forever. You do not have to become someone cold. But you also do not have to become the version of yourself who begged for crumbs. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can care and still move slowly. You can listen and still protect your peace. Because the healthiest version of you is not the one who gets them back. It is the one who no longer abandons themselves just to keep someone else from leaving. And if they come back when you stop chasing, let their actions speak longer than their words. Do not fall in love with the return. Watch the pattern after it. That is where the truth is. And sometimes the greatest sign of growth is not that they came back. It is that you no longer need them to.